Hello everyone, Hachadino over here, and today we are going to talk about something that we usually don't talk that much, and it's going to be stats in Warcraft logs. Now, some people that kind of are curious might want to know why somebody suddenly catapulted a little bit. It's going to be because of three things mainly. One of those is because there are not a lot of people playing it, so likely the people that play it are quite professional, let's say. Well, kind of good, know what to do, a lot of things. In the spec, of course, this is 95th percentile, so you expect to be good, but there's also a catch on that one that I will explain a little bit. Now, as for the other two, is we are kind of capped on gear right now, and somebody has some variants, but some people can get a little bit lucky and do really good. Also, because see, more guilds and people are getting to Silken Court and Queen, where sub is kind of a strong spec. It's not, let's say, the super best, like you might expect from people playing it on the Warcraft race or something like that, but still very good and not that hard to play anymore. That is one of the last things that I wanted to talk about. You won't see many content creators or anyone apart from me. It's also not that easy to find my videos because I'm not into the super known places. You might see some random guides from people or other places, or if you check the Rogue Discord, you have seen me and like 10 people that are talking in the channel and not many more. Now we do have, let's say, a spreadsheet, but it's not like the old times where you had like four different things, or you could change cooldowns for one boss or another. The only boss where you kind of benefit from changing cooldowns and moving them around right now is Obinax. You can do some tinkering in court, but it's not huge, and it's also super RNG anyway because you kind of live and die by eviscerate treats. But it's also way easier to just get into sub and perform. Before, you needed to know all of your cooldowns, timers, and also how to use Shadow Dust. Now Shadow Dust is no more if you didn't know. So we kind of use cooldowns always at the same time, and they are very strong cooldowns. As you might know, we are not the burstiest class in a short period, but over 30 seconds or so, we are one of the better ones. Now here you might see sub here all the way up. Damage to bosses, assassination is still going to be one of the best specs. They also have Rashanan when they are kind of better than everyone, and Obinax, they are also very, very good compared to other specs. 70 is a little bit behind. As you can see over here, here are the cool specs, but also you see here on the graphs, this is kind of like the variance and everything. 70 doesn't have as much as an issue as in the lower places than assassination or outlaw. Now, that can be kind of an overall thing. We are still not the super best spec because also, as you might know, assassination and outlaw are still above us in the overall thingies, but we can, in a super thing, let's say somebody has just overtaken them in stats. Now, this is the important stats, kind of the population size. What does it mean? It means if you get 98 log or 95 or something like that as somebody, you are likely in the top 5 or top 10 of the logs on that spec. Outlaw is a little bit, let's say, let's double that. Let's say you are in top 20 or 30. And assassination, you are in top almost 100 or even 200 if you get 95 or 98. Let's have an example here. My gear right now, I'm 635. This is my court, but if you are going into, let's say, another one, I'm 636, soon to be 637, 38, and when we cap, it's like 30, 38 point something. And let's say I do some bosses and I get logs and things like that. And let's show, for example, that we perform quite decently. and I get, let's say, a 94 luck in one boss. Let's take, for example, let's say the Bloodbound right here. Bloodbound Horror, I had a 98. Same in Rashanan, I had a 98. Blood Twister, I got a 94. And Nexus Princess is always kind of crangled how we kill it. So I have a 74 or something like that. And you can see here, it's saying rank 16, 13, 41, etc., etc. At the time, it was way lower. And if we, for example, go into Rashanan and Bloodbound, that those are kind of my best ones, and then also Obinax. We have to score Filter, Bite, Rogue, and Subtlety. And here you can see that I'm rank 17 out of I don't know how many. Let's say the Bloodbound, it was right now there are 500 and something parses from the 800 now. And for example, if we take assassination, there will be like almost 20 or 10 times more, let's say. Now here you can see I'm here, and you can also see, for example, here on the Bloodbound Horror, we come for all classes, Subtlety, and the Bloodbound Horror, it will take a little bit longer to see me now because kind of that. I should be quite lower now here. So now I'm rank 54, when at the time I was like rank 7. It was a 98 at the time, and now it should be 80 something. But if you are like in top 50, you are still expected to get a really good power curve. But you, in the case of sub, because there is so little players, you don't really get that power. Same in Obinax. Of course, as you might expect, Obinax is played a lot more on Assassination for several reasons. But if you play sub like me, and you like do decent damage, 2,500,000, it's still more than most people do on the boss. In progress or something like that, it was of course already clear. It's a little bit different. And 13, and it's still a 98 when it should be like a 99 or something like that. And at the time, it was not 13. I was like rank 5 or 6. So that makes it a little bit skewed, and makes it so then if you filter only for 95th percentile, you are going to get almost all of the top locks. For example, on assassination, if you get the 95th percentile, you can get, for example, on Novinax, people doing like 2.8, 2.7, or whatever it is, until people that do way less, like 2.2 or 2.1. And of course, that makes it so assassination goes a little bit on the overall. Now, on bosses like Rashanan and places like that, where assassination does a lot of single target damage, but not that many damage to ads. Now that ads begin counting again, Subtlety got a big bump because your secret technique and your nimble flurry do hit those ads. Now, survival has a lot more locks than sub, and it's still, let's say it was the least played hunter for a while until now. Now it's because BM is really strong. So I'm not going to rattle and say anything more. It just people to know why sub just got this 7 spots bump, because we are kind of, let's say, decent to strong in the last 2 bosses. They are getting more people, and also a lot of people are also killing the first 4 bosses. So that it's kind of good on Bloodbound and also on Rashanan. We are decent on Ultrax and on the Sikran, but not super good. So our stats go up. Of course, I don't expect people to reroll from Assassination or from Outlaw to Subtlety. Maybe they want to try it. We still have some months of the patch, and people can be kind of bored sometimes of their spec. But this is a good thing for sub, and I do expect maybe some quality of life fixes and some bug fixes that are affecting our single target damage to be fixed, and maybe we can go par and par on assassination and outlaw also in full single target. That is for the future though. And that's everything I wanted to say. Like, subscribe, and check the sheet. Watch the videos, everything. And I will see you on the next one.